Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, hey, we're back. Saturday morning. It is 9:21 Atlantic Standard Time. January. Good grief. So we put away 20. We've put away 2018. We're firmly into 2019. Rapidly coming up on the second month of the second month out of 12. Where the hell does the time go? So, yeah, here to play some Transport Fever, the next edition, the next installment of our year long playthrough on this. Thanks for coming along. We'll dive right in here and see what we get. There we go. Had a few folks drop in the streams last weekend. That was great. Actually, felt quite good to. I think I actually managed to sell another copy. So, Urban Games, if you're out there listening to me, you're welcome. A lot of people digging this game, and it's surprising how many people haven't actually seen it before and are still dropping in on the stream going, hey, what you playing? Hey, this is cool. So, we're going to. Hang on a second here. Miracle of Sound, as usual, for my background music. Oops, wrong button. Turn it down just a smidge. And there we go. Now it seems to me, yeah, that's right. We now have a Via Rail train. So we're, I don't think we're, oh yeah, we got passengers. That's cool. We got passengers and we're debt free. Not bad hard mode. So, all right. I think the idea here so we're going to let this run for a little bit. And then I think we're going to put our extension out towards Markham almost right away. So it looks like we're on track to make a few $1 million. That's good. We're going to need that because rail expansion. Let's see, what's this train running at right now? Every 4 minutes. Okay, that's good. We're bleeding $1 million a year on that train, but it's going to take a little bit to build that up. But the real payoff will be when I extend out to Markham, and Markham starts making use of this. It's either Markham or Sault Ste. Marie. I'm thinking Markham first because Markham has no shopping facilities, has no job facilities. It's pretty much a dead town. And so by bringing a passenger train route, that's going to stimulate people running back and forth between Fort McMurray, Painhouse Creek, and Markham for shopping opportunities. Sault Ste. Marie's already got stuff going on. I've already got trade operations and things there. And so there's going to be, in the initial push, that's going to be less. I don't think we'll get as many passengers. Eventually, we'll do Sault Ste. Marie down to Yorktown, and then, yeah, we'll have that same thing going on. So that's the plan. All right. so... building people slowly. It's an $8 million train, so that's not so bad. Okay. So I got enough money if I had to, as part of the expansion, I could buy another one of these. So we're going to start land track. So we need high-speed track. We're going to start here. Just going to blow straight across the road. Or are we? Let me nix that for now. What I'll do is I'll get this far so I don't have to worry about land developers. Right? Then we're going to come down here and we're going to turn on our town layout. Okay, so... it's actually more advantageous, because the way the town is spread out, to come in on this side. So we're going to try and stay... what's my speed limits here? So we're going to have to do a really tight turn. We need to blow that road up initially. Well... get... do this a different way. We're going to come down here, and then I'm going to join this up and see what it says happens. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm going to have to nuke some road. Okay, so we're going to hit pause. I'm going to hit the bulldozer out. Actually, we're going to chunk this whole thing out. We're going to dozer this flat, just so we're not dealing with any weird ripples in the way of the track layout. We're going to go back, grab our track tool, and plug this in. And I don't need catenaries on. Keep doing that. So we're gonna, initially here, we got a slow down coming in and out of the town, but the train's not gonna be moving at that speed anyway. Right, that's essentially the acceleration lane. So we're gonna do that. Now we need to fix the road here, right? We're gonna do that right away. And we're going to go small country road, and I'm just going to basically run from line to line. There we go. Anytime I have to trash a road, unless I'm using it for transport trucks, I never replace it with a highway. Alright, so let's come up here and talk about this station. I'm going to need some road for the town. So we're going to go find our bicycle lane. And we're just going to tack some stuff together. And the reason I'm doing this is because obviously I'm going to need to put a transit system in. So I want to know roughly what the shape and scope of the town's going to be before I... There. Okay, cool. So that's my idea, right? So this is sort of the area I want a town to be in. So, and you can see roughly how the town's laid out. And I know that if I'm looking at this, there's Kawartha Lakes over here, there's Surrey, there's a whole bunch of stuff up this way, so I'm going to want to be able to sort of bloom outwards, so I'm going to want to come in sort of here-ish. Oops. So in this case here, I don't need anything too terribly strange. Standard train station will do. I'm gonna go 2 tracks, 100 plus high speed, no catenary second street connection. That gives me a good layup for a basic train, right? And then, so we're gonna do this. A little bit more there, I think. Right? We're gonna put in a little bit of road here. Oh, I got a better idea. Hang on. Road station. There's a couple of these really cool road stations, like this one here. Ah, there we go. This is the one I'm looking for. The trams, buses. So this one here is kind of pretty too, right? Oh, and there's no... Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have a tack in for it. Okay, so I can do that, though. Right? That's kind of pretty. So then, yeah, that's cool. All right. So I'm gonna use this one here just to get it out in use. And then that's gonna go there. Yeah. And then we've got this nice loop. Yeah. Like that. And we'll do this as well. Now, I'm going to preemptively run down some track ballast so I don't have to worry about this. Right? There's no track there, just ballast. But that'll keep land developers from jumping the track too aggressively. And then I can come down here. And then let's see what we get out of this. I'm hoping this isn't going to be too expensive. Okay, $500,000, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We're making money hand over fist, so... So a lot of land work you can see here, just because of the slope of the land, we gotta, to keep the speed up, we gotta jack the track up, and land work is expensive. That'll get it done there. Cool. So now, I gotta put a transit system in up here, right? And I think I'm gonna be silly and put a tram system in. Just because I like trams. So what I'm gonna do is come out here. I'm gonna put my tram building in. That's a road depot. This is a regular tram depot, so it's going to go here. And then I'm going to do a circumferential, I think, and we'll see how it lays the town out, and then from there, yeah, we'll just go with the smaller stations. These ones are kind of cool. So the idea here is we're going to do sort of two trams. I'm going to lay these initial set of stations down. And then see what kind of coverage I actually have. I suspect they need some more stations, but that's okay. I might have gotten lucky. As a minimum, I want everything in walking distance, right? Actually, this isn't looking so bad. So, there's a little bit of the very downtown that doesn't get covered. And the easy way to fix that, um, yeah, but no, I'm gonna leave enough as it is. What I will do is no, can't do that either. I think I'm gonna call that good enough. I think that's good enough. I can fuss with this and make myself crazy. So I'm going to get 2 of the CRLVs because I don't need big. I need many. And then what I need to do is I need to grab my modification tool here, and I need to add tram roads, right? So we're going to add some tram here, and basically I need to make sure that we're covered all the way around. Cool. All right. So that's that. Oops. Stop that. There. Now we're going to set a line. New line. Make it orange. And we're going to go... And all we want to do here is right turns as much as we can. And there we go. And this is Markham. Markham Tram Service. There we go. So we're going to give those a chance to circulate a bit. That looks so cool. As Markham grows, what we can possibly do is do a crosstown run, and you just put a loop here that runs so it'll run down the core of the town. But for now, this is good enough. Or maybe what we'll do is this will be a bus run, right? So you have trams doing the circ and then a bus down the corridor. We'll see. All right. So next thing to do, change the train route itself. So after Fort McMurray, this one gets awkward. So Paint Creek, then Fort McMurray, then I want you to come up here. And I only have the one train, so we only have the one lane. Right? What's the runtime on the trams? 3 minutes. Yeah, so we're up to 8 minutes. That's a little long for a rail service. So, but 3 plus 8 is still 11, which is less than 12, so people will get to where they want to go, which is the limitation, generally speaking. So... So we got people starting to use the bus service, the tram service already. That's good. And you can see that wherever there's you can see that a couple places at least where there's a tram station, there is some activity happening in the town. So this is basically, this area is now more valuable, so it's going to stimulate some land development. That's cool. I like the look of that. Alright. Train service isn't running nearly as well as I'd like. So I think I'm going to completely close the intercity line. Or at least take one more bus off it. So what's the runtime on the intercity line now? Still every 4 minutes. Okay. That's an awfully sharp turn if I wanted to come around the backside of the residential district, so I think what's going to happen is it'll wind up tucking the train station in here. So we're going to do that. And that's probably a little bit more like real. Getting that track through there is going to be kind of weird. Maybe I'm going to use flexible station. And 1990 design, high speed, there we go. Right. Main Street connection is going to be both. Platform. And we're going to go with this layout because I like it. No transit tracks required. I'm going to put curve, curve. Is that the right way? No, I need it the other way. Right. And then that will let me do something a bit more like this. And that'll be a little bit easier to work with, I think. I can snuggle that up a little bit closer to that. There we go. An interesting layout. Like, I'm not sure about that, but that's cool. So now I need a little bit of road, obviously. What do I want to do here? Hang on. We're gonna get something cool looking. We'll use the number 2. We'll use the number 2. This is gonna be bus, bus. Oh, I see. Okay, so you can... Alright, so you can make this as big as you want. Bus goes there. Okay, cool. So, wow, you can get crazy with this. Alright, I like that. So, but yeah, we'll go with this. This is cool. And then... So, of course, naturally, the problem becomes that, yeah, so we'll go like this, because that's kind of cool looking. Okay, that's just weird, but fine. There. Okay, that's kind of a mess, but kind of cool nonetheless. Alright, so here I'm just going to do buses. Right? We already have a road depot, so I'm just going to do buses. Do slightly bigger bus stops here. Whoa. Holy zoom, Batman. Cleaned up. Oof, that's expensive. Yeah, some of this is just unrecoverable. Okay. But, if I can see, can I expand that out a bit? Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost much. Keep. Okay, that's not... Yeah, wow. Yeah, okay, so Sault Ste. Marie is just going to be a mess, and there's not a lot I can do about that. Alright, I was hoping to be able to widen some of those roads up, but that just isn't going to happen. That's too much money. Alright, so we'll put up with it. So we got here, here, here. So I guess what I'll do is I'll put a stop in here. That covers a lot of this area, and then I need one out here, I guess. Okay, that gets enough of the town covered that I can put together a meaningful bus system. So I'm going to buy a couple of the new flyers. Again, I don't need big capacity, I need frequency. And we're just going to do a bunch of right turns as much as we can. A little bit of a bottleneck here, but can't be helped. Okay. And this is SSM Transit. So that'll get a couple of buses moving on this service. So that's cool. Oh, nice. Train service has picked up a bit. And that's good, because I don't want to have to... I don't want to run that at a loss permanently. So now that we get a bus service running through Sault Ste. Marie, hopefully that'll get people using the service, right? Yeah, that's better. 32 passengers. Where are we at? I'm just going to grab this bus stop over here. So where are we at? Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I wanted to see. So Markham is now generating a decent amount of passenger traffic coming back. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, so back over here. Now I gotta start laying track going back this way. So to do that, I need my contours tool. And I know I have to stay on the outside of Paint Creek because my station is over here. Alright. So there's a couple things I need. I'm going to want to cross over here. There we go. This is the easiest way to model stuff like this, is just pin it in and then match the track up to it. 200's fine because the trains themselves don't roll faster than 170 or 180. So that's okay. That's a little bit of a slowdown, but I'll take it. It's not horrible. I still stay up over 100. And again, we got a little bit of a slowdown here, but that slowdown is still faster than the top end of the train, right? So yeah, that's all right. Top. That's technically all high speed. And that gets us in and out of here. Now at this point, of course, if I want to do this, what's going to happen is it's going to drive my my run time on the train up past 12 minutes. That's too long, so I'm going to need to go buy another train. So the question is can I support that? And right now, we're making about $2 million, well, we're making $3 million a year. right? So even with the train losing some money, right, we're losing about $1 million a year. So if I double that, $3 million, we'll break even for a bit. But I think it's a long. But I'm considering it a long-term investment. So now here I'm going to track this in right away because land developers. Right. Yorkton's going to be a bit of a weirdo. I don't know how I'm going to deal with Yorkton, but I'm going to lay out a ballast line this way. And if I don't need it later, we can tear it out and move it. I suspect Yorkton will wind up its own train line just because that's going to be awkward. Well, no, because, wow, oh, okay, yeah, this is huge. So I could curve around, do Yorkton, Montreal, Whale Cove, south, oh gosh, okay, there's lots that, okay, so that's worth considering in the future. This is, I keep forgetting how big this map is. Alright, I'm gonna have to shut that intercity line down. This is insane. I got 86 passengers standing over here waiting for a bus service when there's a train. That's, you know, that's not covering. But, well, yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. So that means I come over here. I'm gonna grab intercity, and I'm actually no, I need my line manager. Yeah. Stop. Save this before you make a stupid mistake. There. Now delete the line. And delete the line. There we go. So what I'm hoping is that that traffic is going to materialize over here over time. Right. All right. So next thing I got to do is start subdividing, start splitting up track. So to do that, I kind of zoom in on well, what I gotta do first off is follow my train. So where am I right now? I'm up here. So, okay, so we're gonna do this stretch next. So what I do is I kind of center up on both locations. I get the track roughly in the middle of my screen. This looks like it's going to be the actual center of the track, this area here. What I'm going to do is fast forward time until the train catches up here. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the train to roll into view here. Excellent, there it is. So now I know that's about the middle, so I'm going to pause it there. Zoom in. Grab some high-speed track. Set that to keep. And we're going to drop a line of track down beside it. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. Cool. There we go. Let that train roll on by. So what this does is gives us a passing lane that's 3 times the length of the current train. So even if our trains grow a lot, we got lots of room. There we go. And then I'm going to need a signal, of course. There we go. And we're just going to confirm, yep, we're using both sides. That's very nice. Right. So that's about the center of that. It's not quite, but it gets the job done. It should have been more down here, so I'm off by a bit. But the point is that there's now a passing lane on this section of track. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to kind of zoom out. It looks like that area here is about the middle. So just give myself a point of reference. I'm going to drop a hunk of track down here. Right. Like that. Yeah, it's doing better. Huh, that's some interesting clipping problems. So again, what we're going to do is just wait for the train to roll up so its nose is touching that piece of track. We'll extend past it. We'll do it again going out the other side, add a little bit more. Yep, stop there. So we're going to grab this and extend past the train. And we're going to grab this and extend past the train. Alright, and then I know that we're kind of off-center there. Oh, forgot to click yes. And then I'm going to add a couple more on both ends before I blend it into the other track. We're going to have some slowdowns, but that's all right. We're still up over 100 kilometers an hour for most of the track. There we go. And there we have a full train going somewhere. That's nice. Yeah, it works. Cool, we got it right. And now we're going to add the run to Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to do the same thing. Right. So we're going to grab this. So after Paint Creek House, so we go Fort McMurray, Paint Creek House, that gets us here. I want you to go down to Sault Ste. Marie, and then I want you to come back up to Paint Creek House. And now we got lots of people waiting at the train station because the bus line shut down, so they don't have a choice. If they wants to go, they needs to go. All right. So that's working a bit better. I now get a train run out here. Well, the catch, of course, is that that run is 13 minutes. That's too long, so I'm going to have to buy another train. So the first run's going to be a little long. I'm just going to take that on the chin because I need to know I need to get my train passing lane right. And then I buy the second train. And then what I'm going to need to do is track inspections at all the stations to make sure that none of the stations conflict. Essentially, the stations themselves become passing lanes, but we can sort that out. Actually, we can sort that out right now. So Markham doesn't matter, it's a terminus. We'll come down here, and here, for example, you can see what the problem is, right? So we're going to grab the station here, we're going to say terminals, we're going to move 5 to 2, and that's backwards. So we're going to move 5 to 1 and 1 to 2. There we go, that's better. And we're going to boot down to our next station and do the same thing. And I'm unerringly getting this backwards. Yeah, that's better. And then down here, this is a one-stop station anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I got a full train. Sweet. So nearly a full train to Fort Mac, half a train. Okay, so yeah, we can definitely use a second train on this line. Alright, it's amazing what a difference changing out that bus line did. And we're actually making a profit now. That's nice. We got a lot of ground to cover, but, you know. So now what I'm going to do, same thing before, I'm going to zoom out. I need to find roughly the middle, and it looks like it's right around this tree here. So now I'm going to hit pause. We'll leave the tree standing, because, you know, we're all green and stuff. So I'm going to run a hunk of track this way, a little bit of a hunk of track that way, and then I'm going to say, yo, be a train. And wait for our train to arrive. And again, we're going to wait till we nose up on this hunk of track. We're going to hit pause. And then about that much more beyond it. Yeah, looks about right. And we can start blending track and putting in signals. And the last thing we gotta do is come up here and fix this. This is gonna be low speed track because it's a tight curve. Right, we're gonna go there. Then we're gonna go a little bit straight. Then we're gonna hook into the track. And what I'm going to do is put a signal here. And a signal there. Cool. So now we're going to buy a train with all of our hard-earned money. So again, we're going to go with the P42DC. And we got 4 passenger cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, it's exactly heading the wrong way, but we'll deal with that. Once it hits this station, I'm going to turn it around, and then go. This is an expensive experiment. I hope I haven't screwed it up because I forgot to save. That's alright. So if before we were running 13 minutes, yeah, we're going to be on a 7-minute run schedule. It's still a little thin, and if the trains warrant it, the first thing to do is going to be to increase the number of increase the number of cars, and then if you know, the load warrants it, then add a 3rd train. Locomotives are the expensive part on these things. The cars themselves are relatively cheap because, as I commented, in Canada, passenger rail service is subsidized by the government. So the rail cars themselves, the purchase is kind of cheap. They actually model that here. And we got passengers waiting for us. So what I'm going to do is roll in here, and I'm actually going to hit stop. I'm going to let them load up, because what I want to do is wait for this train to hit the other end before I let this one get rolling, so that essentially they're as far apart from each other as possible, and then let them sort out the routing, the stops and stuff. Okay, that's Markham. So we're going to be done loading here. And both trains are on their way. Well, that's nice. Both trains full. All right, this is looking good. Cool. All right, this is looking promising. So I need to go check my wood furnace. So what I'm going to do is put you on the train. Oops, forgot to. We'll set time speed here. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, back. Thanks for your patience. we'll finish the run, and then we'll get back to building stuff. As I've said before, for what it is, this game manages to be relatively pretty for in the first-person view. Yep, I like it. Good coffee too. And there's the train coming the other way. This hilly map really does murder train speeds. There's just so many places where there's an uphill grade. I mean, by definition, later on it's a downhill grade, but... your top end is always limited by the speed of the track, but so, you know, accelerating downhill into gravity is okay, but if the train can't ever actually get up to full speed on the uphill slopes, it's not actually much of a gain. All right. And now we're heading for Markham, last stop on the run. Very good. Once we hit Markham, then I'll switch back to builder mode, and we'll look at what to do next. Again, that long uphill grade. These are relatively powerful locomotives. You know, top speed of 177, 180 kilometers an hour, but yeah. I think you check, by the time you put four fully loaded passenger cars on them, I think if you check the power rating of the train is mediocre. we are. That's the end of the line. Oh, we got some vehicle replacements to do. Okay, let's handle that. Okay, it's all some SM delivery. That's fine. And we'll just let Time and Tide take that over. Okay, and the goods needs to be... That one needs replacement. And... Freightliner, do it. On. Cool. Alright. Whoops, didn't really mean to do that, but that's fine. Alright, I need my other vehicle, because I didn't mean to turn it off. There we go. Okay. So this is actually working modestly well. We got a bunch of people waiting at the train station. In point of fact, I can afford to put a third... I've got enough people waiting at train stations. I can afford expansions. I need to think about that. So what's the overall finances on the run? I'm still losing... I'm still bleeding cash. I'm not yet actually profitable. But it's not by much. So that's good. The first year the new train was on, of course, I lost money because there was just the ramp-up time on the trains. But I'm... $500,000 a year is nothing. I'm easily absorbing that through just operations. Now here I'm going to lose a bit of money because I got to buy a bunch of new vehicles this year, right? So that's okay. But yeah, apparently I am averaging $3 million a year, so I can take a $500,000 a year hit. That's not That's not a crisis. I would prefer to get these profitable if I can. So the way, however, if you notice, both stations there have got basically I'm leaving passengers behind at both of these major stations. So a way around that, make a little bit more money, is that I would do a preemptive upgrade on these trains now. So I'm going to, oops, replacement. And so that's the... And that's 4, so I want to go 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you just want to go to 6 and be done with it? Yeah, 6. And that's plenty. And what we're going to say is replace now. It's going to cost me $5 million. Totally worth it. Alright, so that's going to run. Now, leave that alone for a little bit and just let basically stuff sort itself out. Let's take a look around the map and see if there's anything that I need to look at in terms of bottlenecks. Fort McMurray. Okay, so we're doing okay on our oil shipping. We're doing, we're doing okay generally speaking here at Fort Mac. So this begs the question: is do I want to revive my run to Wolfville? I think I do. I do think I do. So I'm going to buy a couple of freighters, and we're going to revive our oil and goods run down to Fort Mac. But first, I want to get a couple of these monsters rolling too. So let's talk about the... Yeah, I really do want to do that, don't I? Yeah, I really do. Now, navigable waters. Oh, this is such a mess. What's it going to cost me to blow this bridge up and rebuild it so it's navigable? Because the problem here is that there's no place in here that's going to be... Wait a second. Wait a minute. No, I'm going to... I'm not going to put a passenger boat service in. I'm going to put an airport. I'm going to put a couple of airports in. So I'm going to get a couple of freighters rolling. Now, this monster moves 100... No, it's 150. That's not bad. And they're $1 million each. The Exalp is 152. That's 500. Wow, that's a brute. Don't need anything that big. The Merlin. Okay, so that's 252. I think I'm going to go with 2 of these. And then that is going to be a new line, and this is going to be a darkish color. Oops. And we're going to go from here. The first year is just going to be a write-off, but that's all right. To here. And this is Great River Oil. Great River Fuels. Alright, so that's the first one done. And I didn't hit that in time, so now I don't know what that said, and that's kind of awkward, but that's alright, we'll sort it out. So what I'm going to do is arbitrarily grab one of these ships, ship number 2, and turn it around. And it's just going to head the other way. So one ship's heading each direction just to start out with. And then I'm going to buy a couple of freighters. And again, I need 152, 30 kilometers. Yeah, it's just too big. 36, 252. Yeah. Okay, there we are. That's the quarry. Okay. And I think we're going to go with the Exalp. We're going to put a couple of Exalps on. And that's the tipper trucks on. And this is going to be set line, new line here to here. Great River Cargo. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Boat number 3 goes north. Boat number 4 is going the other way to Wolfville. There we go. So that's that taken care of. Now I'm going to build an airport. And just to be spiteful, I'm building the airport over here. So there'll be an air run between down to Wolfville. And this will be the axis of my air travel. All right. I'm gonna let's call this now with ships. And I'm not going to put in a cargo airport right away. Mostly because, yeah, no cargo to ship. Oh, wow, this thing's a brute, isn't it? Where the hell does this thing fit? Because what I was hoping was to get it tucked in over here, but, oh my goodness. Terrain alignment issues. Collision. Give me my contours. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so that's... So the road there is not that big a problem. I can nuke the road and literally put a tunnel in. Okay, and then same thing with the train. No, the train will be a problem. So that works, though. Technically, that works. Do I want to do that? Yep, gonna go for it. And again, I probably don't need the airport this big. I just want to try this mod. Unable to align to terrain. There. Okay, that fits. That's going to be kind of wiggly over there. Can I move that back a little bit further? Yeah. Good. Okay. I hope you know what you're doing. Yeah, well, so do I. Now, naturally, of course, I have a problem. So we're going to do a small country road. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to drop the whole thing. That's not what I meant. What do you... okay. Why? That's weird. That's a crazy expensive way of solving that problem, but whatever. Alright, now the problem is I need to do it again. Because I need people to get a bus over here, right? I may regret this, we'll see. I think I'm just going to use one of the plane stations. No, yeah, I'll do this one over here. Okay, so the next thing I gotta do is I gotta lay some road down. So, just bike route, and what I'm gonna initially do is something really simple. Because I just need the flat surface, right? Now, is that gonna let me bolt in here as a turnaround? No. Oh, come on now, stop that. Unable to align to terrain. Okay. So now what I gotta do is peel some of this ground down. Now what I can do is grab some six-lane highway, as stupid as this sounds, and lay it parallel. And bring this down to even. Yup, and then I can bulldoze it out. And that gives me sort of a pad to work with. Then come back here, grab this, and tuck that in there. You're still not gonna work. Yeah, it works there. Cool. A little awkward, but works as works. Okay. Now, I'm going to come off of here, and I'm going to need a tunnel. So, oops, wrong button. Start small, and then make it work. Okay, so start here and more like this. And yeah, that's better. There. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to upgrade this road. And there we go. And then now I'm going to tramway this. And then I'm going to bus lane this. And now I need my tram service line. I can turn time back on. So after Station Street, I want to go here. Could not connect all stations. Okay, why is that? Electric, apply. What don't I have? So I go from Station Street. Yeah. Through the tunnel. Up here. Here. And then I come back and it says I can't get to Lower Markham? Why? Oh, no, no, no. And then Markham Annex I can't get to? Why not? Oh, I wonder if, as dumb as this sounds, no. That's not it. What's the problem? So why is this suddenly broken? I wonder if it's the tram route. Like, I have it bus only. I'm wondering if... No, you can, I mean, you can see the track there. Why is this not right? There, it was missing the catenaries. Okay, that's just awkward. So if you start with catenary, you have to continue with it for electric. Sure. Alright, so now I have a major airport out here. And you can go up to 3 terminals with this, right? Which is fantastic. But for now, one's good. Wow, that was a lot of money. Now we're going to fly... Now we're going to sail down to Wolfville. Let's take a look at the land. I don't need a major airport in Wolfville. Or do I? Where are we in relative terms? Yeah, if I'm going to put a major airport in, it'll be down closer to Whale Cove. So Wolfville can be a smaller airstrip. And if I have to, I can put it across the... Medium airport's fine. Alright, so it's going to be 5 million, and then another couple million in aircraft, so we'll have to wait on that. Still not really making money here. Close, but not quite. Eight minutes is a little long. So now, so obviously enough the ag line, I can afford a couple more trucks here. We're going to do that. And 2 more trucks ag, 2 more trucks oil. So what am I running on these lines? So the ag line, vehicles. One livestock, 1 grain. And then the oil truck, the oil, what am I doing here? Is that, okay, those, so I need, yeah, it's the Volvo tankers. We're gonna, boost up our production here a bit. The food plant shuttle. Looks like I'm buying Cascadia's. And then over here, the cargo shuttle. Cascadia's again. The idea is if I want to do export here, I need to get extra moving, right? And cargo delivery, I'm obviously going to need another, possibly one more truck in here. We'll see if stuff starts backing up or not. Excuse me. $1 million in taxes. And yeah, it looks like I need one more cargo delivery truck. And those are, yeah, those are the Volvo yellows. The Volvo box trucks. That'll move that. So now I'm just trying to plow my way up to basically I need $7 million. So we're gonna let time roll for a little bit here. Oh, that's right, and I'm going to need another oil truck. Possibly. Yeah, fuel delivery's doing okay. Okay, Cascadia. Alright, got plenty of headroom here. There's trucks basically waiting for cargo. So now I'm going to buy 2 more oil trucks and 2 more tankers. Oops. And then that ought to boost us up to the point where where our production level is starting to deliver surplus here. There we go. We got food. We got food up on the dock now. That's awesome. So another 2 million, 2 more sets of vehicles. That ought to saturate Fort McMurray as well as the run out to Paint House. Paint House Creek. Actually, I'm just going to let that go for a little bit and let it sort itself out. I want that. I want to get that other airport in, and I want to get a plane flying. Tanker rolling in, but it's rolling empty. And so what I'm going to say here is that at Fort Mac, stick until partial, stick until partial. And then down here, we're going to revive this shipping line. And I'm just going to be cheap about this. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Well, fine, 2. Set line, new line. Where's the quarry? You're the no, you're the quarry. Then I want you to go here. That's kind of ugly, but it'll get the job done for now. Yeah, I think I'm actually bleeding money now. I think those shipping lines are a mistake. Oh, okay, new vehicle. Yeah, awful lot of new vehicles getting bought is the problem. This is still working okay. They're hauling a rock. Very nice. So we're going to slowly reactivate this whole process. Very minimal configuration. The idea is to get goods into Wolfville, and then, if all goes well, start hoofing those goods up the river on the return trip. And, yeah, we got some food on board. Not much, but it's starting. And we got some oil on board, so it's starting. Very nice. Fort Mac. Give me a sec here, folks. Need to check something. Sorry, again, using my iPhone here is sort of a poor man's control pad for Streamlabs, and Yeah, it just keeps kicking out on me. It's kind of... Alright, there we go. So how are we doing? We're up to 1.25 million. We're loading a couple of freighters up with goods. That's nice. So they're not going to run completely empty, at least. I'm really going to need to boost up the oil and ag services to make these freighters worth it. But that's just buying trucks. I can do that. Down here, and look at that, we got construction goods waiting at the dock. That's nice. I'm actually surprised about that. I figured Wolfville would be consuming more. But, okay, sure. Now, so the idea is I'm going to put an airstrip in over here, and I'm going to have to basically hook up a commuter service. I'm going to use buses for that, because I already have a road depot here for the trucks. Hey, Danny. Alright. Roommate just getting down. The Diablo 3, the next Season 16 started last night, so both he and I were up gaming a little bit. Working on our new demon hunters, so... It's kind of cool living here. I'm basically living with a house full of gamers, so, yeah. When in doubt, there's always something to talk about. You can always talk about the latest shenanigans in either the tabletop game or the computer games. Alright, trying to get ourselves up to 5 million cash here. That's nice. Doing an okay job of loading up here. And this is starting to get crazy busy, isn't it? Vehicle replacements, right? So, yeah. So, almost 2.3 million in new vehicles last year, so that's kind of slowing me down, but that's fine. Oh. We're getting there slowly. It's just the age of the line. There was a huge expansion I did, and all those vehicles are now up for replacement, rebuild. So there may be a couple of years here where I'm just having to sit through this process. So I'm going to bump time up. Cargo delivery might be a little bogged. I'm not worried about cargo trucking getting bogged, because what'll happen is that essentially the shippers will figure out that they can push goods out to the shipping line. Yeah, okay, this is actually not as bad as it looks. The delivery trucks are good for, I think it's 30 units of goods each. It's 18, so a tandem, okay. So what I'm looking for is basically wanting to see this number roughly staying less than 36 all the time. And if that's the case, then I'm not... that's a half a truck. It's one truck's worth of goods. So when I start seeing like 2 and 3 trucks worth of goods sitting on the ramp, that I start getting twitchy. So right now, the exception to that, of course, is going to be the cargo trucking line. I don't mind this one bogging. He's got 17 units of construction material. Cool. So what's the shipping rate on this line down here? So that right now we're able to ship 44 units of goods. Production here is 42. So, yeah, okay. So buy another Cascadia, as much painful as that is. And I really don't like how this is laid out, so I'm going to mess with this while this truck's driving around here. And I'm going to go with a slightly darker gray so it's easy to see. So I think, okay, so I come out of south, and then I go to halt, and instead I think I'm actually going to just rewire this. And then branches up there. So I come out of south, then I'll take the hit, go to transfer, go up to halt, then here. It's kind of awkward, but it's not. I think that's just a better distribution route. There. 3 million cash. 2 hours on the stream. Okay. Oh, nice. So, upgrade over here. The quarry's running okay. Alright, so we're gonna jump on the... I need to go use the heads, refill the coffee cup, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna take a 2-minute break. I'm just gonna put you on a truck, doing a lap, and I'll be right back. Howdy, folks. Back. All right. Heading back to town on the truck. Oh, okay, we're heading out to the quarry pickup. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So that seems to be doing okay. And hey, look, we're sitting at 4.46 million. Yay. Let's just hit that pause button and talk about an airport. Now, it seems to me I had worked out someplace that this fit, yeah? Yeah, there we are. So I can get it in. Wow, I can get that nice and close to the town this way. Don't do that. Unable to align the terrain. Oh, no. Okay, so... right there. Okay, well, if that's the answer, that's the answer. Bang. Airport. Alright, so now what I gotta do is wire the town. And spend some money and get a plane, right? So... bike lane, and down we go. And this is kind of aggravating that they did this and it turns out not to be a connectable. It's not really a road. This is the only way in. Someone's done a mod that fixes this, and I really should probably go find it. And this is me spending way too much money again. But there we go. Alright, so now we have an airport. What we need now is planes. Planes, by the way, are in here. Oh, cool. I forgot about the airships. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yeah, we're doing an airship run. We are so doing an airship run. I forgot I had this mod. Okay, that's awesome. Airship green. 13 passengers. Does 100 kilometers an hour. Airship light. Oh, that's beautiful. We will put a red alert airship in, but later. Okay, so we're going to do this. We are so doing this right now. All right, so airline, new line, ASL 1. I'm just going to call it ASL 1. It's going to be blue because skies, and then we're going to go from here all the way up here. And away you go. That's quite a turn radius for an airship, but okay, sure. It's not really an airship, by the way. The game won't let you model the way an airship actually works. Essentially, there's no hover mechanic. There's a minimum, there is a takeoff. So what this really is a slow plane that's modeled to look like an airship, but that's as close as I could get. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of airships. So we have one. Okay. Now, of course, we need train service. And we need bus service. And we need bus service pronto. We'll go with one of these. Yeah, that covers that up. Nice. That really barely pinches in there, doesn't it? But okay. And then I need to know what my town looks like. I think for expediency sakes, I'm going to put another roundabout in down here. And I think this is going to be really a classic example of keep it simple, stupid. I think I'm just going to run a simple straight down the middle line. And that'll get us up to here, right? Really? So technically I don't need another stop, but I'm going to put one in down here anyway. And that really kind of stacks up the town. And 2 buses will let me get away with this. So I'm going to buy 2 of the flyers. And that ought to do it. And there we go. That gets us in and out of here. And this is Wolfville Crosstown. That's the Wolfville Crosstown bus. And if you've ever been to Wolfville, there is a Crosstown bus. So there you go. Or there was the last time I visited, which admittedly was a while ago. All right. Now, what's the run time on that airline? 49 minutes. Oh my gosh. All right. As much as I like the airship, that's no good. So I'm going to leave the airship there, and I'm going to buy a real plane to go with that line, just so this isn't obnoxious or obnoxiously bad. Did I have... Yeah. So, okay, so I need 2 million there. I'm gonna wait on that. Just one sec, got a message from the sweetheart here. Okay. I'm going to need to wrap the stream up here in a few minutes. Basically, once I get a plane in the air and a couple of the little things tidied off. Oh. What do we got on the dock? 98. Yeah, I got to do a run to town with the Sweetheart. Did take care of a couple pieces of business, so... So 73. So I need another semi-trailer on Wolfa Logistics, or this stuff is never getting distributed. And what was the cost of the plane? $2.6. Okay, it's going to be a bit. Incidentally, they've got the numbers on the airships wrong. Back pre-World War II, the Graf Zeppelin routinely clocked 80 knots, which is 110 kilometers an hour as flight speed. Everyone thinks that airships are slow, ponderous monsters. That's because they only ever saw them on the approach process where, you know, they were maneuvering near places like New York. And so, yeah, most airships, in fact, consistently clock speeds north of 85 knots. So, you know, that moves you. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that math. So a knot is 1 nautical mile per hour, so that's 1.1 statuettes. So 85, which was the speed of the Graf Zeppelin, as I recall it, times 1.1 is 93 miles an hour, and then you multiply that by 1.6 to get kilometers per hour. So they're doing an average of 150 kilometers an hour straight lines. There are some modern aircraft that have problems at that speed. So, yeah, not the bigger aircraft, obviously. The bigger aircraft are pushing Mach 0.8, but, you know, high-altitude flights. But for, yeah, you know, air operations in the less than 15,000-foot range, the Graf Zeppelin operated routinely around 8,000 feet and routinely clocked speeds of, 85 knots. Do a transatlantic voyage, Berlin to Brazil, Berlin, Germany to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in luxury accommodations in about 5 days. I think they're crossing the Atlantic, something like that. It's pretty cool. He's going to roll in here and pick up a full load of goods. Cool. Yeah, nice. $263. There we go. Okay, that's just cute the way that's operating. And I don't know what's going on with that rocking motion. Airships actually aren't that unstable. I think it's just because it's so close to the ground. Alright, so here we go. Alright, what do we got? Wow. Okay. Apparently I need another tram up here. Hello, what the hell? Where's my tram station? Up here. So, woof. Took a bit of a taking a bit of a kicking there on the revenue stream. Just began $6 million in new vehicles, right? So I'm making $3 million a year, spending $6 million. It's expensive. So we're making about $3 million a year in spite of a couple of our cash drains. So now it's just going to be a little bit of a waiting game to let those things start actually generating revenue. All in all, this is looking pretty healthy. Like I say, I mean, obviously enough, the shipping lines here are purely vanity lines. Yeah, we make a little bit. Well, actually, you know something? If we make 700 grand every 3 years, and it costs us 100 and 200 grand to make that, that's a $500,000. That's a $500,000 profit on that line per cycle. Okay, sure. And there's our airship. Yeah, I'm totally cool with having that on the line, in spite of the fact they've got it badly done. Like, it looks pretty enough that I'm willing to put up with it as a vanity line. Damn, that's cool. All right. Yeah, we're doing okay here, actually. I'd like to see the rail line a bit busier, but that's just... So yeah, we're flirting with profitability here. Okay. So what I'm hoping to see here is that we're going to start, basically is that we're going to start seeing train traffic going this way to get access to the airport. That's the hope. We'll see. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for today. Like I say, I gotta get rolling. Stuff to do. We're going to hit pause here and save this. Now with planes. So yeah, that's we'll save it there, and we'll do some more tomorrow morning for sure. and we'll see what happens. Excuse me. I'm hoping I haven't overextended myself. That's the concern. Essentially, buying on hard mode, you shouldn't do what I just did, which is basically set up 2 brand new shipping transport routes. One air-based route, because that's a lot of infrastructure and capital acquisition cost right up front. And then I did the exact same thing, essentially almost in the same year or the same 2 to 3 year period with the lake shipping routes, right? And again, same thing. So that drove a huge capital acquisition course because I had to buy a bunch of semi-trailers and stuff like that. So an awful lot of money went out on a hope where there's immediately going to be a cash drain from 2 different sources, both of them competing to try and feed each other to keep the whole organization afloat. So hopefully I didn't just overextend myself. We'll find out tomorrow morning. Thanks very much for joining me and hanging out online. If you're catching this on YouTube or on Twitch replay later on, feel free to leave comments, questions, suggestions. I am, of course, Richard Victory Gaming, and this is me showing you probably how not to play this game. So take care of yourselves, have fun with whatever you do, and don't forget, you are the most important people out there. If you're going through hard times, don't be afraid to ask friends for help. That's what we're here for. Cheers, take care of yourselves, have fun, bye-bye.